Hello and welcome. Those of you interested in my channel have seen me do reviews in past of other people's products. This time, as a change of pace, I wanted to introduce you to one of my own. This video is for the third run of the Holocron series, or custom Holocron series that I make. The first two runs included Jedi Holocrons as well, but this run is all about the Sith. This time of year, October, I like to try to focus on that darker side, and so what I've done is I've taken this opportunity to go into the Sith design, switch it up a little bit, and offer you guys a few different models of Sith Holocron. So let me go ahead and look at the models. First model is the Holocron of Heresies. Now it's seen here in orange and black, but the colors can be of your choosing. It has a Sith circuitry design, and this is probably the best recognized or most widespread Sith Holocron design that's out there. It's modeled after the Holocron of, I believe you'd say, Darth Andeddu. I've only read it, so I don't know exactly how that's pronounced, but it's modeled after the Holocron of Darth Andeddu. We're going to go with that. And he was a Sith Lord who had discovered how to prolong his life by figuring out how to switch his spirit from body to body. He also created this holocron that contained that information, along with his spirit, and also contained his lightsaber crystal. All right, these holocrons that I have made, they also contain lightsaber crystals. Let me find one here. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. So the Holocron of Heresies features that Sith circuit board design and some ancient Sith text along the bottom that reads Power, Passion, Order. The second Holocron in the series is the Holocron of Hunger. Now both of these in the middle are different versions of the Holocron of Hunger. This is my own take on what I would believe that a Darth Nihilus Holocron would look like. Darth Nihilus was the Old Republic Sith Lord who had learned how to prolong his life by attaching his spirit to inanimate objects, in his case, his mask and his armor. But the Darth Nihilus Holocron that I have created contains this sort of circle border right here. Up at the top we have the sigil of the Sith Triumvirate, which is the ruling three Sith Lords that existed during that period of the Old Republic. The center ring here contains text. That text is taken from a quote by Visis Mar, the apprentice of Darth Nihilus, and it reads, let me see, here we go. I've got my transcription here. It reads, "I am a wound in the Force, more presence than flesh, and in my wake life dies," in ancient Sith text. The design in the middle is a vortex-like circuitry design with a Sith star in the middle. Let me take the light out. There we go. I don't have that one installed with a crystal right now, I just have it sitting on an LED. But the Darth Nihilus Holocron comes in two different versions. The concave, which has the design inset. It ends up with a darker, more complicated design like you just saw. The Sith star in the middle is red, and the design is sort of blackened out. Or convex. The convex version has the design sticking out and the whole back is recessed. That's this version right here. This version lights up better, but you sacrifice detail in order to get that light. The Sith star in the middle is black, but the circuitry design comes across more as stippling than it does as an actual design. But let me bring that one up there. And the final design, in keeping with the theory of avoiding death, is my own take on the Necro Holocron. Now this is a Cthulhu-themed, or Cthulhu or Lovecraft-themed Holocron. On the front here we have the sigil, or the Elder Sign, from the Simon Necronomicon from the 70s, and the pattern behind it on the Holocron surface is sort of a swirling tentacle pattern. Up at the top is the sigil of the three-lobed burning eye of Nyarlathotep. Let me go ahead and give you a close-up of that. Alright, so what we have this time around, I'm offering three different designs, two versions of the Holocron of Hunger. And for each one of these versions, each one comes with a crystal chamber. These versions come with a choice of 4 different crystal chambers. Those chambers are the cluster crystal, which is version 1. The lattice. Well, my displays aren't actually glued together, but the lattice, which is version 2, or the fine lattice. Version 3 is a thicker lattice. And version 4, I have one up back here, is a single large crystal. With the Necro Holocron, I have decided to offer an exclusive crystal that only comes with that design, which is the Necro Holocron crystal. Let me turn this off so you can see it. Now this design is a cauldron-like creation with a sphere in the middle and tentacles coming up around the outside. Right, so each one comes with a crystal chamber, as I mentioned, and when those crystal chambers are fully assembled, the lights do not fall out like some of the ones that you've been seeing. The bottom of the chamber, you turn and it illuminates. You turn it the other direction and it turns off. These things run on watch batteries, so if you turn them off all the way, you can access the batteries, which are replaceable, and then screw the batteries back into the bottom of the light unit, and you're good to go again. Another thing that I've brought out this time around for this run specifically, though, is the idea of a Deluxe Holocron. Let me go ahead and bring one of those into the frame here. So here's the standard-sized Necro Holocron. There is a Deluxe. Okay, the Deluxe Holocrons are 20% bigger than the other ones, but that 20% makes a lot of difference. What you end up with is a superior level of detail on all features. The detail on the tentacle pattern on this one, much more noticeable, and the sigil at the top. All right, so you get a lot more detail, and you get a larger holocron, which if you're just holding these in your hand as a prop, this is nice, and it says definitely says Sith Holocron, but this takes up most of the palm of your hand and is definitely more imposing. So the Deluxe Holocrons use the same crystal chambers as the others, with a crystal housing that is going to match the color of the frame that you choose. So the crystal housing fits around the standard crystal, allowing it to fit inside of the Deluxe model Holocron. Alright, so the Holocrons are going to be offered in the same 4 models. There's a Deluxe Necro Holocron. Here's a Deluxe Holocron of Heresies. Here is a Deluxe Concave Holocron of Hunger. And here is a Deluxe Convex Holocron of Hunger. You can see the difference between the concave and the convex a little bit more here. This one comes across as brighter, but this one is more detailed. Alright, now in terms of the materials for these, the panels of the Holocrons, you can see them in some various combinations here. I have standard materials, which are red, as you see here, green, orange, as you saw earlier, purple, blue, and smoky. I have two upgrade materials. These are materials that you can have those panels built out of, but they come with a little bit of an extra cost. And that is the glow-in-the-dark blue, which you see here in this crystal, and the glow-in-the-dark green that you saw in the Necro Holocron crystal. All right, I can make the panels in those, but I didn't have one printed up right at the moment in order to show you. The frames also have standard materials as well. This one is standard gold. This one is standard silver. Here we have gunmetal gray. And here we have solid black. The frame materials have upgrade options as well. This option right here is antique silver. This option is antique gold. This option is aluminum, and this is actually an aluminum fill that contains actual aluminum. And this is brass, which actually contains a little bit of actual brass in the filament. So the aluminum, the antique gold, the antique silver, and the brass are upgrade materials. The gold, silver, gunmetal gray, and black are standard materials. All right, one other thing about these that I've added this time around is a feature that some of you guys asked for in the last run. Let me go ahead and take it out of the Necro Holocron here, and I'll show you. RGB. If you choose the RGB feature, what you will get is you will get a clear or frosty crystal like this, as opposed to a crystal that matches the color of your panels. That frosty crystal will come with a remote, and inside is an RGB LED. In order to do this, I had to print the crystal chambers a little bit larger, which means that you can only get the RGB LED in either any of the deluxe size holocrons or in the smaller holocrons with this crystal type or this crystal type. I can't print them in the lattice for the smaller holocrons. It makes them too big. All right, but the frosty LED, we have the ability to turn on and off with a remote. We've got a lot of these with the same, or with the LEDs and or the remote controlled LEDs in them. But let's focus on this one right here. Turn it on and off with the remote. And we can change the color. Red, green, blue, orange, yellow. There are 12 colors to choose from. We also have the ability to cycle colors. This is in direct light, so it doesn't show up as well as it could, but you can see this holocron to my side here is cycling as well because it's on the same remote. Alright, so the RGB has the ability to flash, it has the ability to adjust the brightness. Each one will come with one of these remotes. So this is the third run of my holocrons. If you're interested in these, I'm putting up an order sheet on Facebook right now. I will include one in the description for this YouTube video. All the pricing information is there, along with the shipping and payment information. I will create these on a first-come, first-served basis, so first ordered will be first orders filled, and I will ship them out and notify people when they are shipping. I've got a pretty good track record. If you ask around from the people who were in the last two runs, they will probably tell you about what that process is like and what the time frame might look like. But I'll get them out to you as fast as I can. So that's my Sith Holocrons. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you back next time.